Right. Contrary to what my wife said, I cannot remember the last time I spoke for 60 minutes. 55, yes, but never 60. Never 60. I have a joke for you. Yeah, that's right. You know, there's been a lot of unemployment issues, right? A lot of folks have struggled finding work over the last number of years in particular. And this person wrote to me about their experience of trying to find the right job. They wrote to me. Said my first job was working in an orange juice factory, but I got canned. I couldn't concentrate. Then I worked in the woods as a lumberjack, but I just couldn't hack it, so they gave me the axe. After that, this gets worse, believe me. After that, I tried being a tailor, but I wasn't suited for it, mainly because it was a so-so job. Next, I tried working in a muffler factory, but that was just too exhausting. Then I tried being a chef, figuring it would add a little spice to my life, but I just didn't have time. Next, I attempted being a deli worker, but any way I sliced it, I couldn't cut the mustard. My best job was a musician, but eventually I found I wasn't noteworthy. I studied a long time to become a doctor, but didn't have any patience. Next was a job in a shoe factory, tried hard, but just didn't fit in. I became a professional fisherman, but discovered I couldn't live on my net income. They just go on and on and on. I managed to get a good job working for a pool company, but the work was just too draining. So then I got a job in a workout center, but they said I wasn't fit for the job. After many years of trying to find steady work, I finally got a job as a historian until I realized there was just no future in it. Oh, that was really bad. My last job was working in Starbucks, but I had to quit because it was the same old grind. So I tried retirement, and I found I'm perfect for the job. That's it. Okay, I won't do that again. Turn in your Bibles with me to the first chapter of the book of Acts. The first chapter of the book of Acts. We're going to read the first 8 verses, or first 11 verses from Acts chapter 1 in a second. We're beginning a new series called Following Faith. We actually started last weekend, on Easter weekend, but some of our campuses we did little different things. But we're talking about following faith. We're talking about following a faith not in a religious system, not in a religious idea, not even in kind of precepts about God. We're talking about faith in the risen Jesus. That's the faith that the Bible offers to us. Not simply the embrace of, a certain path or form of religion, but a relationship with one who is living and reigning. And as we talked about last weekend, as those first disciples of Jesus who knew him and walked with him and saw him do miracles and listened to him teach, their faith had to become something other than what it was after the resurrection. First, to recognize they were all surprised by the resurrection. Their faith that they had in Jesus before didn't simply roll over into kind of the next chapter or the next stage of things. All of them had to discover a kind of brand new faith, if you will. A way to walk now in their life, moving forward, following him, knowing that he is risen and he's leading them. We're going to spend the next, I believe, 8 weekends or so up till Pentecost weekend, focusing on the first 8 chapters of Acts, believing that what's recorded is helpful to us, not just interesting because it records history, but relevant to us because it's describing the footsteps of this following faith that you and I, as we reach for God and find him, as we encounter by way of surprise and shock and investigation and discovery, as we discover that Jesus is in fact risen and that we can trust him, that we can know him, that we can begin to redirect and rearrange our lives to follow him, that as we do that, stepping on some of these same stones, some of these places that those first people who were finding a following faith as they walked it out before us. Acts chapter 1. Remember, this Luke Acts, the Gospel